Hi everyone, Bitcoin here from
the Big Chabowski Empire.
This time I'm up against this guy with a novel of a name, Undiamond Dead is Like a Wind, from one of the ANZ GC guilds. Now, this is an opponent that's actually fought a lot of my former opponents, or rather we fight the same kind of people because we have fairly similar rosters. Now, some interesting things to note about his roster is that he has a full Relic 7 General Skywalker team, so that's going to be a tough one to take out. And then he has a Relic 7 Rage Jedi training already, so he went a little bit early over there with some relics over here as well. And other than that, there aren't a whole lot of differences. He doesn't have as strong of a Night Sister team as I do, and has a little bit less on Separatists and stuff. So let's go take a look at what exactly he has done. Before that, I want to quickly check my feats. Make sure I don't forget anything. Like this one here. If I do any undersized battles, I need to claim it so I can go on to the next round. And obviously the one with CLS, basically. It's funny that they give it this kind of specific name and make a whole feat for it, but everyone kind of knows what everyone's going to do to get this feat. It's mostly challenging, I suppose, for people at lower GP who might have made very specific choices that they don't want to gear up, or that they haven't gotten any kind of Wookiee yet besides Clone Wars Chewbacca, and for them it can be a big difference to get this feat and get top ranks or not. As that's lower GP, it's always more difficult to get the feats done, and you kind of have to get lucky that you're that you have stuff that makes sense for that month, rather. So let's go take a look at what my opponent has done. Cleared the board, as you can see, and has General Skywalker over here, etc. But we'll look at the defense first. So up top here, he took 2 attempts on the Grievous team, one-shot the Night Sisters. That's interesting. And then at the bottom, 2 attempts up against General Skywalker and one-shot the Darth Revan team. So he went really heavy on offense, and I'm actually quite impressed that he still managed to one-shot the Darth Revan and the Night Sisters, considering he had to do 2 attempts on the other ones. But it kind of depends on what state he left those teams in, because it's a big difference between leaving just General Skywalker or leaving him together with 2 more clones or something. Because I'm guessing with his General Skywalker on defense that he used his Padme. That's also what I saw in his history before. So that means that the back wall here is probably fairly light, but it also means that I have to one-shot his General Skywalker team. Or rather, I don't have to one-shot it, I have to be able to clear it. And with so many relics on there, it's always a question how far I get in the first attempt. I've frequently beaten these full relic teams, but it can go completely wrong, of course. And then it's a matter of, will I still be able to clear it? Because if I'm not, then this is an automatic loss. Now these teams are both pretty light. And then at the bottom he has his Grievous team and his Night Sisters together with Talia. Actually not a huge fan of Talia in here, just because she can cleanse the debuffs that I can put on them with Bounty Hunters, which is what I'll probably end up doing. Normally seen I would go through this wall here first, but like I said in one of my previous videos, it makes more sense for me to take down General Skywalker first, see how far I get there, who I might need for a cleanup. Because if, for example, I don't manage to get through the entire team and there are still some clones left, then just my usual cleanup crew isn't going to cut it. I'm going to need something stronger, and that will mean that I need to use something else up against Grievous or Night Sisters or whatever. So I'll get started with that one. And hope that things work out for this one. We've got everyone, let's go. So always the question mark, does General Skywalker go immediately after Rex? This time it's Echo, so he puts the debuff up on Padme, which means that her cooldowns don't get reduced. But R2-D2 did, so even though I get to cleanse here, he shouldn't be, he's not able to smoke screen, which means that all of the buffs that I have on everyone will likely end up getting dispelled. So that's a bit of a pity, but we'll just make it work with what we have. Got 10 stacks there, that should get me decently far. Padme has a lot here, but if she gets dispelled, then that's going to hurt me. Yeah, just happened. It's a typical thing, but there's not a whole lot you can do there. It's just going to happen at some random point. If you don't have the smoke screen from R2 up, now I do. But losing all of that courage means I'm going to take down at least one less clone. If I even take down 5s at all here, that's a big question mark. And that could end up costing me the entire match here. Yeah, this is awful. That's the worst possible start that I could have, pretty much. Also, because I don't have a cleanse here, my GK is very likely about to go down here. Maybe I'll topple him with R2 over here. I do. But Echo's second AoE, once it comes in, it's basically game over for me. So I'm gonna have to be careful here. I'm really tempted to AoE, because I don't have much courage. I'll try it out. Yes, that was a good choice. I really needed that little boost over there. So because Echo is about to AoE, I would rather kill him now rather than cleanse. Because if he AoEs, then I immediately lose all the buffs that I just gained, which would be a huge waste. I'll burn over here, and then now I can do the cleanse. This should be a kill. And we've got everyone standing. We've got Foresight on GK, which didn't matter. But 26 stacks of courage here. That should nicely dispose of him. So this was an excellent start. Decently happy with how that went. It got a little dicey in the beginning, with Padme losing all of her courage. But in overall it went well. So that should pretty much mean that I have this in the bag unless I mess up drastically anywhere else. So now we're going to continue down here, and I'll take out the Night Sisters teams first with my Bounty Hunters. And this is what I got my Django Zeta for. Not sure why I have the Django loadout in there, because now I can still go back and correct it, but it's probably for defense, as that makes him a fair bit faster. So this is what I'll end up using. There's no Watt in there as he's on defense, but up against Gear 12 Night Sisters, or even with just a Relic Assage, they can handle themselves, especially now that I have the Django Zeta and I'm not 100% dependent on Boba getting kills. So this should be fine, in theory, but practice is always a bit different. Yeah, and then they get those stuns there. Like with all the tenacity that I have on my team, watching them get 2 stuns on the first shot, that's a little discouraging. I definitely went to ability block Talia here, which I of course didn't. I mean, what are the odds that this is a crazy Talia? And there go all the debuffs. So this is pretty much what I was just saying before I went in. It's my least favorite scenario. But let's just kill her here. Yeah, she's gone. It's not really my first choice for a kill, but I don't want to get a repeat of what I literally just had happen. I need to be able to land enough debuffs and then take them out one by one. So now I get a stun, that's pretty good. And there we go. I could try to execute here because it's a Gear 12 Ventress. But I think I would rather get the ability blocks on everyone, or at least on a bunch of them. And now I will go for Mother Talzin. This is why bringing Cad Bane is so great. He is just so good at perfectly timing those dispels and stuns on zombie. It's really super handy. For the rest, I mean, he's not a particularly useful character, but over here in this super niche application, it's just wonderful to have him around. So now it's just a matter of cleaning up as Mother Daka, I was gonna say. Old Daka is not able to revive anyone here. Let's see. Yeah, there's not much of a point in killing Asajj here. So I'll just focus on her, and there we go. Everyone has full protection. Boom. Can't wait to gear up my Bounty Hunter so I can still use this counter up against stronger Night Sister teams. Alright, so Grievous up next. Let's see how he is modded. I think I checked this before when I said defense. So he's got a fairly slow Grievous. He's got his Watt in there as well, 279. Slow B1. So this is a really slow team. It's not exactly how I would build it. So one important thing to check is who is tankier. Is it B2 or is it Magna Guard? He's missing a mod on B2. So it would surprise me if it's him, but then again it's the offense one. So that's about 103k. And then Magna should be more tanky. Yes, he is. Okay, so Magna Guard gets the taunting tech. Important check there. So that means I'm going to do something a little bit different. I can afford to against this opponent. So I'll send in my Treya. If that doesn't work, then I can send in JKR, and then I should still have enough for the back, because like I said, he probably went pretty light on his defense. So isolate that Magna Guard. I'm going to hopefully stun Grievous. Yes, I did. Fracture him, and then I'm going to focus on B2 for a little bit here. Or potentially on B1 so I don't get the same issue I had last time, so I'll probably do that. Though my Thrawn is fairly close to taking a turn, sorry. But this should take him down. I got some turn meter reduced there on Thrawn, so that's good for me. Let's kill him. Now that maxes the turn meter on Grievous, which is not ideal. But should be okay here. I'm going to focus on B2 for a little bit. Watt desperately trying to bring back B1 there, which obviously didn't work out, but now Grievous is about to take a turn, and that cost me my Dooku and Thrawn all of his turn meter. That's not really ideal. Now normally seen it would make sense to use a drain here, and I think I'll just do it. Gotta keep focusing on B2 just so I don't trigger him more than I already have. And then I get the turn meter swap just in time to get the Annihilate. So pretty dodgy in terms of banners, but it's good enough for me. And I didn't really feel like doing JKR. I get really bored of that counter sometimes. It's very, yeah, you just have to do it every territory war essentially, and it's just pretty repetitive. I like to change things up every now and then where possible, and it's not always possible up against the meta teams, just in the same way that I am ridiculously bored of doing General Skywalker mirror matches in Arena. That's another reason for me, or a motivation to learn the Padme counter, just because it's nice to be able to change things up every now and then. There's always this period in Arena where you get super bored of doing the same mirror matches over and over, but then once you get a new meta, it's fun for a little bit, and then a couple weeks in, you're completely bored out of your mind again and really don't want to keep doing this. So I don't remember there if I annihilated B2. I don't think I did, so I'll fracture what? And I might actually go for him first. I would like to try to top up all of my protection, and Thrawn is missing a little bit of health. So I should probably talk less and click more. Maybe I'll do the cooldown reductions on Thrawn actually, that would be smarter. So at least top up Treya. Thrawn is going to get, Sion is going to get close, but I don't think he'll get there. I'll save the Annihilate for now. I don't want to slow Thrawn down because he's the one doing the turn meter swaps, so fracturing would not be smart there. Let's see, yeah, he doesn't quite have the health that he needs. And I think Sion here is just going to lose it again. He's got some health steal, but I don't know if it's enough to Yeah, he's close. He's close. Let's see if the health seal kicks in here. Is that enough? No, it's not. Okay, well in that case, I should have maybe put that on Scion actually. Well, I will be able to do this. He does have... No, he doesn't. Ah, that's a pity. Otherwise, I would have been able to recover the protection. Anything else I want to try here? I don't think so. I'll just kill him. I'll drop those extra banners. It's whatever. So that worked out fine. And then in the back, he has his Geos and he has his Newt with Dooku, Droideka, Chirrut, and Baze. Alright, I'll go up top here first then. I think I want to use my Rage-Added Training over here because I don't have R2 with it. Then I can CLS this one as there's no Kylo Ren either. Can just undersize that probably. And then over here I can use Nest up against the Geos and have JKR in backup potentially. And then use my own Geos over here or JKR if I don't need it over here. So that's probably nicest. I mean, I could immediately JKR this, but not much of a fan of that either. Spy could potentially pick some people off. So I'll just get started over here. These guys, I do have C-3PO. Thinking, do I want to keep him for CLS? Not really against First Order. It's not that useful. I could just undersize it like this and then get some more banners in the process. As long as I'm able to stall on Zaalbar in the end, then it's all good. So I'll do that because I just said the word undersize. Did I undersize anything? No, I didn't. Okay. I mean, I could have looked at the board and answered the same question, but, you know. So let's do this then. Get the undersized feet over here and hopefully get 61 banners, or it's not a good trade. I'm going to want to control mission for this one so that she doesn't assist, because someone is definitely going to get some turns in here. So I'll focus on this guy first. No crits just yet, but this should get me close. Now T3 is going to come in and dispel all of my hard-earned buffs. Or not. The AI actually tries to make him heal someone. That is insane. Because he only heals droids. I mean, he dispelled the debuffs, but my god. That's another reason to not put your T3 with your Old Republic team. I didn't even know that. I think I knew this in the past, but then I forgot about it. Oh wow, I really thought I was going to drop her under max health there. Well, this will do it. Which makes Zaalbar take over. I'm still looking good in the protection for now. That's about to change probably. But I'm also finally going to get my first kill. Don't think I really want to go for Karth just yet here. I'd rather take out Juhani. Okay, well, I guess he felt offended. And now I should really start using all of the heals with Finn to be able to recover this in time. Sure, I can put this on mission. T3 already uses AoE, so I'd rather control mission. His basic is pretty harmless. It's so strange sometimes not having R2 in there, because you tend to leave these characters for R2's burn, but if he's not around, then you do need to send someone in to finish the job. But I've got all my banners here. This should be a kill, and then we're good. I mean, there's a very, very tiny sliver missing on BB-8, but he's about to get it back with Illuminated Destiny. There we go. Okay, now I should claim defeat. I'm glad I remember this because usually I tend to forget these things as I'm just very much into the board and don't really like going out for anything, not even checking stats or whatever, or looking at rosters. So, then we have the Geos and Newt left, and we have First Order left here. I think I'll go for the Geos first. Let's take a look. Does he? I was thinking for a sec that he didn't have a speed set on there. Okay, well that's a relatively slow Geobrute Alpha. That's good for me. Let's check the Spy and then the rest. I don't think I really need to check. Unless he has some surprise 300 speed Geo Soldier in there or something. Yeah, let's go up against this one. Get some more undersizing done. I mean, again, I could play it safe, I could use Jedi Knight Revan, but that's a little bit boring. I just like to get more data, more input in what does my nest struggle against and what doesn't work. Sounds like people are stuck on the last wave of the new, what's it called again? The mythic battles, the challenges there. There's a new one for the clones. Let's see here, Poggle or Geo Soldier. It's generally Geo Soldier who is the nicest to attack, because he puts the tenacity down. And if you can get rid of that, then Nest doesn't get debuffed anymore, like with his days. The timing now is really annoying for me because Spy just dispelled, and if Sunfac puts down the days right after that, that means that I don't get to counter for a large portion of the fight. And that just generally hurts my success chances, so it's a bit random there. I haven't been able to figure out yet actually what is the ideal speed ratio between the two to avoid that from happening. I should probably look into that if I like using this counter, but just haven't really made time for it or made it a priority yet. If it ends up costing me a Grand Arena at any point, then I'm pretty sure that will be the motivation to do so. Alright, that was another one from Spy. I think I'll try to daze here, see how far that gets me. It's a good bit of damage. It's nice to get it in because then you immediately get some good shots in, but Geobrute Alpha following up with a heal pretty much negates that. Well, we're definitely going to get there in terms of damage. The main question is whether Spy is going to get lucky here at any point. There we go, that's Soldier gone. So once this tenacity down is gone, then I will not get debuffed anymore, which means that Spy won't have the damage anymore, and that will make this pretty easy. There we go, the debuffs are gone. Oh, that's actually perfect. I've almost never killed Spy so early. So now we focus on Brood. They do actually still land some debuffs, which is pretty impressive considering the tenacity on Nest. But actually this one's from Sunfac, I think, and Sunfac can have stacking, some kind of stacking potency or some potency boost from his unique, I believe. Alright, there we go, that was pretty simple. 59. You could argue I lost the banner there if I would have gone with JKR and gotten full banners, but I mean, I don't really mind too much. So, First Order, and then we have the Newt team. I think up against First Order, I might even end up using my own Geos because there's no AoE damage here. It's all pretty focused. So I should be able to recover. It's just also a little bit of a risk. I should use CLS for the feed. It's a risk in the sense that if I somehow don't manage to max my protection, then I throw away 5 banners, which is a bit silly. Like a very unnecessary kind of banner throwing party. CLS could also actually be pretty good here because I can immediately get rid of Dooku. So that might be what I end up doing. Though JKR is really overpowered here. And up against First Order, CLS is fine, but it heals them a fair bit. It takes pretty long. Yeah, not sure actually. What do I like most? It feels like I still have so much on offense, but that's because he went so light on his defense. I think I'll just use my CLS over here. I'm not going to do it up against the Dooku and new team. They've got too many things going on. Not even sure what I mean with that myself. They've got too many things going on. Like what? CLS Han, Chewie, and then, I mean, Old Ben can do the same thing that he likes to do up against bounty hunters. I'll bring him. I don't want to go in with 3 and then, although there's almost no damage. Let's do it with 3. It's really just First Order Executioner who's pretty much going to die in the opener. I mean, yeah, the pilot can hit too, but it's pretty bad. Now they've got the double taunts over here. I could try to get rid of one of those, so let's do that. And now I just want to buy a little bit of time. This also makes it a much more interesting match. I mean, if I bring Old Ben, then I'm 100% sure I'm going to win. Like this, I'm not actually sure I'm going to win because I haven't really done this a whole lot. And it makes it more challenging as well to try to max banners. It's just, in general, to me, it makes it more interesting, even though I might throw away a win here and throw away unnecessary banners. I like to figure out like what can teams accomplish when they're not in their ideal state, because more often than not you have to end up doing something different than you're used to, and figure out how far you can get with that. So these, I feel like these kind of matches where you're pretty much certain you're going to beat your opponent, to me are a lot more interesting to test these kinds of things in, since we don't have any kind of sandbox mode, and it's not like anyone in Arena is going to put up a First Order team for me so that I can test with my undersized CLS team how well they do. That just doesn't happen. So for me, these are great opportunities to figure these things out. So I'll probably lose one banner on Chewie there, but I mean, that's kind of the banner that I would have lost if I brought Old Ben in the first place, and he might have also lost protection. So all things considered, it's, yeah, pretty much the same result. Although, yeah, he just stole one from Han in the end there. So still works, and I got the undersize, so yeah, that's no surprise, the fleet there. Let's see, how many do you actually need for this round? 8. Alright. When you go back there, it always sends you back to this screen rather than to the Grand Arena screen, which is a bit weird. So, new to last then, another question mark there. How far can I go in undersizing? Can it just be these 3? I would guess so. Now, I don't want to push it too much and go for impossible things. I could even try these 2, for example, but I mean, there also needs to be some kind of benefit to it. And the chances of me having to undersize something with just these 2, or bringing Jolie instead of Bastilla and using Bastilla as lead for something else, it's all possible, but might be a bit unnecessary. Yeah, I'll just do this. I'll steal the Retribution. And now Bastilla will give me my buffs, and then I can share them out just before base strips everything away. I'm going to turn meter swap here to Bastilla so that I can dispel this. Get rid of all the extortion. And it's probably not so easy to... I might have gone with Bastilla lead rather than this, just to be able to more easily max the banners, because now I'm going to need to end with a group attack from Jedi Knight Revan, probably. Let's reduce your turn meter, or kill, that works too. Yeah, I want to save this, although, I mean, Yoda is so low at this point here. The odds just seem a bit low that I would be able to make it. Cleanse that. Cleanse that. Yeah, that's probably not happening, but we'll just see if we can get it on one of them. Let's see who's closest here. Probably General Revan. Yeah, he got it back to full. So bringing Jolie there, I might have ended up with a little bit more, but that's fine. Alright, so we set the same fleet on defense. Whoops. I mean, I could put it in, doesn't matter. Loadouts, where are you? We need you. Now some people like to go in with just one ship. That's something I'm not super comfortable with yet up against these kind of fleets, because I don't know what he has in reserve. And with the Millennium Falcon up against the Y-Wing, it's a little bit better for him, as he gets the chance to dispel my buffs. He can focus a fair bit of damage with the AoE. So I don't really like to go too undersized on this one. I do prefer Ahsoka here rather than 5, so I'm just going to go in with these 5 ships, save a couple banners, hopefully, but more likely I'll just lose a bunch to all of the damage that they still put out. So my capital ship goes first. I could already focus on the Millennium Falcon, for example, but generally you don't do the damage necessary to be able to take it down. It's super tempting though, but I'd rather just get rid of Biggs. But I think, you know, we'll just make an exception. Let's try it out. I don't think I've done it this way before. See how far we can get. Yeah, that's... actually, I'm still gonna get the kill. That's perfect. I think I have done this before in Arena and then realized that I fell short still, but that might have been up against a relic one. So no taunting from Houndstooth, which means we can immediately pick off Biggs. Thinking here, Rex cannot give himself any protection back. So I think this will be just enough to get as many banners as possible. Everyone's still at full protection. I think I'm going to do the basic here rather than that buff. Just so I can get that kill. That was actually misclick, but that's fine. Nobody needs any protection. And then I call in Ahsoka. Now Phantom is going to strip a lot of protection in the next attack, because I'm just taking too long to get through Houndstooth. This is always the nightmare. Yeah, the team just took too long over there. And now the switching between these two ships, it's such a messy thing. I was hoping I could get through quicker, especially considering I already took down the Millennium Falcon in the beginning, but doesn't really look like it. Now ideally I would stall a bit and let Plo take a turn so that I can get everyone their protection back. So I think I might just do that rather than drop the bombs and immediately kill these guys off. Also because Rex can recover a bit here. That's a kill. Come on, Plo. I thought he was ready, but he's not. Then I'm just going to kill here. I mean, most of the ships other than this one are full. I don't think protection up counts. These two are still going to take turns, and my capital ship will as well, so let's give it a shot. Does this recover any protection? Protection up. It's good enough for me. I mean, these two together, I don't think they're going to kill. So let's just do this. Let's just finish it. 65, that's good. All right, yeah, the annoying thing with this as well is that in Arena, it's pretty difficult to determine, like, where am I getting my banners, because it doesn't really tell you, it just tells you whether you won or not, so you can't really test with that kind of stuff. So 1925, that's a pretty good score here. He just went way too light on defense, I think. He's really banking on people not being able to one-shot his General Skywalker team, but then he does need to be super efficient on offense to be able to get it himself. So that was the third match. Looking forward to the next week, as I am hopefully, depends a bit on ship credits, but hopefully I should have my Malevolence unlocked then, which I will be placing on defense, which should hold better, or at least rather steal more banners than a rebel fleet does. So that should be pretty interesting. I'm just waiting for the store to pretty much refresh, and then I'll get there. So yeah, that was it for the round. Good luck with all of your Grand Arenas. Hope it went well. Let me know how it went for you in the comments, and I'll see you all back again real soon.